In light of Tulsa nearly beating both SMU and Memphis, I am content with an 11-point win. Meanwhile, our bye week elevated us to 17th in the AP poll, and our SP Plus rating is now greater than 10. We will see where our resume puts us in the playoff rankings next week. We're heavily favored in our next matchup against an underwhelming ECU team. Hopefully our offense will get back into the groove and repeat last year's performance. We continue to be favored in our next 5 games. The big question mark waiting for us on Black Friday in Memphis. FPI has flipped every week, while SP Plus still thinks Memphis is the real deal. We remain in first in the East, and with Boise's loss, we are fully in control of our own destiny. Meanwhile, this weekend's showdown between SMU and Memphis may decide the West. See you on Saturday. But we're not quite done today. As November approaches, it is time to climb the Nippert steps and head next door to
Improper Fraction Arena.
UC basketball tips off this Tuesday with the women's team taking on Utah. My football stat sheet begins with the coaching change, and so we will do the same with basketball. Section leader once told me that the women's team would always break your heart, but that was far from the case in Coach Michelle Clark-Hurd's first year leading Cincinnati. The team has improved in the past several years, going from 8-22 in 2015 and 2016 to last year's 23-10 record and a trip to the WNIT quarterfinals. Cats are tied for third in the preseason media poll, so another successful campaign and even a trip back to the main tournament are not out of the question. However, there is a long shadow over the entirety of AAC women's basketball. UConn is a powerhouse. Since the start of AAC play in 2013, UConn's women's team is a perfect 120-0 in conference. So far, no one in the conference has been able to beat them, and they have cruised to the championship every year. I personally saw the full power of UConn during the conference tournament my freshman year, when UConn won the game 21-75. At one point they were up 5-47, and the Cats had not scored in over 15 minutes. However, this season will be UConn's last in the American. This means that we have at most 3 more attempts to slay the beast. Last year we came surprisingly close in a 65-55 match that was one of UConn's closest ever AAC games. Hopefully they won't leave this conference unscathed. Meanwhile, the men's team will tip off against a ranked OSU team in Columbus. They also went through a recent coaching change when John Brannon came from NKU to replace longtime coach Mick Cronin. Cronin's tenure was marked by great success everywhere but the tournament. Despite making the tournament each of the past 9 years, the Cats only made it to the second weekend once. Hopefully Brannon's more offensive approach will be the breakthrough this team needs. The men's team is also third in the preseason conference poll as we look to win our 3rd consecutive conference championship. However, the Cats are unproven due to a large roster turnover following the coaching change. But Jaron Cumberland, last year's Player of the Year, has returned for his senior year and is helped by a number of transfers. This is a new era, and based on the successes of other recent hires, the sky is the limit. Sadly, I don't have any odds for either of these games. I probably won't have odds for women's basketball for the entire year. Regardless, basketball has returned, and football is carrying on. Go Cats.